What's up, you guys? It's your boy D Money Man, back at it again. I just want to say that today we're gonna be doing a ranking of worst to best Marvel Phase 4 films slash TV shows in Phase 4. Without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start with the first one that came out here in January of 2021. That'll be WandaVision. And where do we put this? I guess we'll put it somewhere in. How about the show was okay to me. Overall, nothing much special. So I guess we'll put it in. I guess B tier for me. The TV show was okay, I wasn't really a big Wanda or Vision fan in the MCU, so when I heard they're getting their own show, I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch, I guess. Not really a big fan of the characters or anything, but I watched the show and I was like, it's fine, I guess, especially for the first project and the phase. It's a TV show, which was surprising on the least. And when I heard they're doing TV shows based on like these type of characters, I actually was applauding them for it because we never really seen something done like that in the MCU before. So that was rather shocking nonetheless. But WandaVision, it's fine, it's whatever. So actually, let's move it down to C tier. It's okay. Next one after that is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now this one, I'll put it in B tier. This was a little bit better than WandaVision got going on for it. I really like Falcon and Bucky, and especially John Walker, U.S. agent from the comic books. Yeah, I really like it, but people weren't really too sure about Falcon becoming Captain America, which now looking back on it, I was like, they kind of have a point, because it's a little too soon to already be replacing Cap as he's already moved on, and we saw an Endgame where he handed the mantle down to Sam in the Endgame movie, but I feel like they could have waited out a little bit on that aspect. I'm really glad they made a TV show about him picking up the mantle, whether he wants to continue as Falcon or become the Captain America. But yeah, this show is a little bit better than WandaVision, but that's not really saying much, because although it does have its pros, the cons are that I really didn't like how they did it. The villain of the TV show, as you guys know, the villain is not Zemo as he appears again in this TV show. He was in Civil War. The main villain of this TV show, I think his name was the Power Broker, Power Breaker, something like that. But it turns out it ended up to be Agent 13 from Civil War. So I'm just like, okay, she's the villain the whole entire time. That's a bit of a waste. I thought it was going to be a secret character that hasn't been introduced to the MCU yet, but it was just her all along. You wouldn't know. But I wasn't really a big fan of that per se, so this TV show gets like a B tier overall. So after that, we got Loki. A tier. Come on now. Loki season 1, a good storytelling. I love Loki as a character. Ever since he appeared in Thor, I really enjoyed the character for where it was ever since then, and I really like how this dive into his whole glorious purpose, got a missive type of deal, and shows him another side from the TVA, which was first introduced to the MCU. And I also like Mobius, Owen Wilson's character, and we also saw King of the Conqueror for the first time in this TV show. And I really don't get the haters behind this TV show when it comes to Loki. I really enjoy it here, and yeah, this overall W show. So for that, I'll put it in A tier. Now after Loki, I believe it was Multiverse of Madness. Whew, boy, this film. I'll give it a C. It's wasted potential. You see, Multiverse of Madness, I was really having high hopes for this film, especially with Sam Raimi, Spider-Man director himself of this trilogy, coming back to Marvel to direct the sequel to Doctor Strange. I was beyond excited once I heard that news. But when I saw the execution, yeah, that was not good. But I do give it this. I do like how it's been a while since I watched this, y'all, but I do remember what I didn't like. What I didn't like was the writer who wrote this didn't watch WandaVision at all. So I was like, okay, so you making Wanda the main villain of your second film, but you don't know anything about WandaVision, nor you haven't watched WandaVision. I didn't really get that much. So yeah, overall the cameos in this from the the cameos, that was really good. You know, we saw Professor S, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and that was really good. And I like the different variants of Doctor Strange's in the multiverse. But I very much dislike American Chavez, and also how he hyped her up to defeat Wanda, which is basically a woman versus woman type of fight, which I wasn't really a big fan of. But overall, this movie had high expectations and failed at the end of it. So, by that logic, I would give this C tier treatment. So, next after that is, we're gonna Shang-Chi. Actually, no, that's too high. Right there, A tier. Shang-Chi was a really good film, guys, and I really liked how they introduced the 10 Rings into the MCU finally after Iron Man in 2008, about time. And I really enjoyed Shang-Chi himself, and we're gonna get to see the real Mandarin after disappointment in Iron Man 3. So that was also good, and the fight scenes are real choreographic, and I really liked the story in this, and I really enjoyed this film overall. So by that, it gives an A tier. So let's dive into the next one. Thor: Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder, D tier. Reason why is because Love and Thunder had a lot going on for it again, just like Multiverse of Madness, with not only you have the grief of Thor, with he lost his brother, his dad, his mom, he lost every single one of his family members except for the Avengers, and then he lost Black Widow, so that's not really saying much else. But yeah, and they also combined it with Jane Foster's Thor coming in as the new Thor, And then you got Valkyrie taking over Asgard. You got a new villain introduced in the MCU, Gore the Godbutcher, played by Kristen Bale, who held the helm of Batman for 3 movies, his own trilogy, which he came out of DC. He said he wasn't gonna make any more superhero movies after that trilogy. And then you brought him back into the MCU as your main villain, but you raised him like this. So, yeah, this movie is overblown with too much comedy. Remember Ragnarok, how it did a good mix of comedy and seriousness? Imagine the comedy from Ragnarok times 10 in this movie, and you get Love and Thunder. So yeah, not really too big fan of it, and really don't like it all that much. There's way too much joking going on in this, and they even wasted Christian Bale / Gore the Godbutcher in this movie. How he killed one god on screen, the rest was entirely off screen, which is a big fumble on Marvel's part. But yeah, by that logic, I'll give it D tier. Spider-Man No Way Home, S tier. This movie really saved the entirety of Phase 4, in my opinion, because you only got John Watts, who returned to direct this project, and also it ends off his trilogy of Spider-Man movies in the MCU. But you also have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returning in the 3rd act of the film, and I really like how they combine together and work together to defeat the Sinister Six, and there's a whole bunch of good stuff that happens in this movie, y'all, and I'm really happy to see it succeed. So by that logic, I'll give it S tier. But let's dive into Black Widow. Black Widow is fine. Now, Black Widow, the reason why I put it in C tier, because I wasn't really a big fan of the character, and I know a lot of people said that she deserved her own solo film way back then. Did it way back then, though. It's kind of weird that they waited now to just release it. But yeah, the story's okay, and I like the Red Guardian, played by what's his name? Forgot what his name was, but yeah, I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But yeah, this film is overall fine, and it does set up Hawkeye, which we're about to dive into next. So also they ruined Taskmaster to put Taskmaster as a woman. Like, come on, Marvel, why you fumble that up? So by that logic, I put in C tier. So let's dive into Hawkeye. I'll give this also C tier treatment, because this show is really not about Hawkeye. It's really more of Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. So yeah, it's really more so on that factor of it, even though the show is called Hawkeye, you know. And really didn't like Echo in this one. She just didn't do it as a villain for me. I enjoyed Kingpin though. I really enjoyed him. He made a return in this. But yeah, not much to say about this. I gave it a C tier. Fine. Werewolf by Night, A tier. I really like to see this type of thing done in the MCU, where like a special presentation, basically specials on Disney Plus platform, where this type of stuff doesn't really affect the overall MCU. It's just own little side thing in the universe, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, I like Werewolf by Night, the whole black and white thing and man wolf thing, and I really enjoyed it, how it looked and everything. So by that logic, I'll put in A tier. Moon Knight. No, Moon Knight, I'll put it in. It's B tier. It's pretty great, pretty good. I really like Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke's characters in the show. How, especially Oscar Isaac, how he plays multiple different personalities in the TV show as Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and another personality in the show at the end. And I really like that aspect of it. How Egyptian type of mystical feel of it. I really like that. But yeah, it's just that not really too much of Moon Knight per se. You see Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, but you don't see Moon Knight too much. Which hopefully they put more on it in the season 2, if they're gonna make one. But yeah, I'll give it a B tier. She-Hulk. Actually, remember that one. Yeah, guys, what do you expect? She-Hulk. I can make a whole video about this, but it's not good at all. Now the story is not good, and She-Hulk is not really good as the main character, and it's not really even good at breaking the fourth wall. The only thing good about the show is Daredevil, even though he only appears in a few amount of episodes. So yeah, really didn't like this show. So put in D. The show is bad. Eternals. Actually, put it right here. Yeah, Eternals. Just feel like it should have been a Disney Plus show, out of all things, because you got all these characters you introduce you for the first time in the MCU. I think it's about 10 characters who are the main cast. It's way too many characters to introduce in a 2-hour-long movie, and it really doesn't add up. Along with the main villain, it's not even engaging enough as the main villain. It's not really interesting at all. And so yeah, this movie is not poorly made, so we put it in C tier. Miss Marvel. This show is pretty much okay. Not much to say about it. I really wasn't a big fan of the comic books, nor the Marvel's Avengers video game, where she starred as the main character. So yeah, I really didn't like it like that. So C tier. What If Season 1? What If Season 1 was pretty okay, to be honest, pretty great. I finally remember of it, of Captain Carter and whole teaming up thing. It's really great. Hoping to do better What If stories in Season 3 whenever they're gonna reach that. But yeah, C tier. Wakanda Forever. D tier. Reason why is because Wakanda Forever, sadly, Chadwick Boseman had passed away from the role before it started shooting, and so he had to change up the script and everything, and basically made Shuri the new Black Panther. And I think they should just recasted him altogether instead of just making the film without him, removing him completely, and Namor was a mixed bag for me as the main villain. He did good, but you know, it's just like, I don't know, it's something weird off about him. And yeah, this film is overall not that good, and this film doesn't even need Ironheart to be in the film at all. She could have just been removed entirely as a whole. But yeah, guys, not really good movie. But if you want to check my review on it, even more thoughts, it's in my channel. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Phase 4 review, y'all. After Phase 5 is done, I'm gonna be doing a review on that. But this is what I think of the process they released in Phase 4 so far. So until next time, guys, next video would be the ranking of the dceu projects. So I'll see you guys then. D Money out.